Hey, 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 you know what today is? It is Friday, and you know what time it is? Time for Sisterhood Check-In. Make sure you get your girlfriends and tell them Sisterhood Check-In is on the air. Make sure you grab your popcorn, your juice, your tea, whatever you use to unwind, because we're going to go in deep today. And we're going to talk about some amazing things regarding business and life with Ms Honie B. I'll see you soon. Welcome to Sisterhood Check-In. I am your host, Nadira Lewis, and I am so excited that you are spending your Friday with us. Yes, it's Friday. Yes, if you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new video. If you are watching us via Facebook, make sure you click like and share if you are continuously blessed by the content that we provide for you each and every Friday. So, another day, guys. It's been a minute, I know, since I've done a live video. I've been doing some self-care, taking care of some things, but I am back and in full force. Thank you so much for watching. I am excited to be able to introduce my guest. We've known each other for many years, and I have literally watched her on Facebook become a businesswoman that has exploded and blossomed into this beautiful woman of business, woman of God. I just cannot wait to dialogue with her and see all the marvelous things that God is doing in her life. So, but before we introduce our guest, I just want to also play this video for you like I normally do. And then after that, the next voice you'll hear will be that of my special guest, Ms V.
Long before the beginning of all other beginnings, God is. In a burst of creative activity, God creates the world and everything in it. Humans are designed to live inside of this unique relationship, but they choose otherwise. The law of God is broken, and the heart of God is pierced. But the story isn't over. In the fullness of time, God gives his Son, born of a woman, born under the law. Jesus comes to seek and save those who are lost. Wounded for our transgressions, crushed for our iniquities. On the cross, God is in Christ, reconciling the world to himself. And with a loud cry, Jesus breathes his last. But the story isn't over. On the morning of the third day, the power of the living God erupts, breaking through death with the moment that will define all other moments. Perched at the edge of heaven, the angels stand in awe as one of their own rolls away the stone that's guarding the body of Jesus. As if anything can guard Jesus. He walks out of the tomb alive. He is victorious. He is conquering death and rendering the grave unnecessary. He is living and moving and breathing as only the risen Son of God can. But the story isn't over. We are, every one of us, searching and hoping and longing for life. It's a desire that's been deposited into our souls by the very same God who spoke it all into existence. And it's this exact life that the resurrection of Jesus invites us into. So bring your hopes, your regrets, your successes and your failures. Bring your doubts, your joys, your fears, and your dreams. Be resolute and unwilling to settle for anything less than the abundant life of the risen King. Because truly, if the story isn't over, then what happens next might just change everything.
Ooh, every time I see that commercial, I get like super excited because I'm like, woo, what happens next might change everything. Thank you guys for joining me back here on Sisterhood Check-In with my special guest, Ms Honie B. Woo! Welcome to Sisterhood Check-In.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
How are
Thank
you?
you for having me.
You're welcome. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Yeah, God is good. That's all I can say.
You look good.
Well, thank you. So do you, as usual.
Oh, thank you. So, Miss Honeybee, we've
Mhm.
known each other for a very long time. It's amazing when you actually look at all the people on your friends list. And you look at the time frame that you've known them, and it's like, wow, we've known each other for an extremely long time. So, help my audience understand, how did you become the woman that you are today?
Well, it wasn't overnight. It it grew. So, of course, in the beginning, you don't know where you're going. You're trying to figure things out, and you hit some bumps in the road. You try things, and then one day you look up and God just blesses you with your purpose. So I started out doing just treats, and I had a corporate job. I was in corporate America for about 15 years. And during that time, it afforded me to be able to own a business and work, because having that job, was the money that I needed to get started. So that's how I got started, just having a location where people would just come and order treats. And it just grew over the years. It just grew. So it's all I can say is just everything has been by God's grace and His mercy. Nothing that I did got me to where I am, or will get me to where I'm going. So it was nothing but God's grace.
Definitely. I definitely understand that none of us have the ability to be able to say that we've gotten to where we are on our own, because it is exactly by his grace. I definitely understand. So to what were some of the things, like, everybody has a starting point, okay? Everybody has a place in their life where they, decided, okay, I'm going to stand up and take charge, and I'm not going to allow the things that has happened in my past to interfere with becoming who I am today. So, what were some of those challenges that you went through that kind of helped shape you into the person that you are today?
Well, a lot of people don't know, but I married very young. I was 21 years old when I got married, and during that time, my husband and I we had 4 children together, and I'm no longer married. I'm divorced. So just that whole journey from the time I was 21 till about 30-ish,
Mhm.
that was just a very trying time for me. And during that time, I became a woman, because when I started out, I was immature. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know where I was going. But even just raising my children, as a single mom, that helped to create just a sense of empowerment for me. And after my kids got a little older, I ventured off and did a couple of things. I used to be in theater. I used to do plays. I sang. I've done a lot of different things to help to build my confidence, help to give me the tools that I need to actually be a business owner. I mean, I have a degree. I have my degree in business as well. I have a bachelor's degree, but I can say that it didn't just it wasn't just the degree that helped me to be a businesswoman today. It was just the trials and tribulations that going through, just being young, being married, going through a divorce, raising children, just all of that helped me to be the woman that I am today. And my beginnings were, my sister actually was the one who wanted to do a cupcake business. And she said, oh, let's start a cupcake business. Now, we had jobs. We were both working, at the same company at the time. And it really wasn't my passion. I didn't know anything about it. So I was the baker and my sister was the brain. So we had a location out in Arlington. I mean, we had the whole thing, but it wasn't our time yet. It just wasn't our time. But it gave me the tools that I need for confidence, just to know that you can get a business. You can't have a building. You don't have to do it, from your home. So those were my humble beginnings. And like I said, we had that business, but that business failed. We didn't continue with that business. But just that beginning gave me the knowledge that I have today on how to run a business and what I need to do and things like that. So those beginnings helped me to be who I am today.
It's funny that you said that you started a cupcake business and it failed. Most people, when they start a business, they have an inward desire to do something. But sometimes people give up. If it doesn't work out, they just throw in the towel and just say, oh, this isn't for me. Not realizing that sometimes in order to get to where you're supposed to be, sometimes you have to that's that discovery mode where you're going through discovering. You were doing cupcakes and it may have not been the timing, but you were in the right place, just not the right timing. And so sometimes God will give us a sneak peek. Like with me, I never knew all the stuff that I was into was going to lead me to where I am today. But when I go back and I look at it, I say, yeah, I was tapping into it. It just wasn't the timing for me to do it. I wasn't in position to be able to really fully function at my best at what I could be. So most people would have given up. And there's a couple times I wanted to give up, and I was just like, you know what, I'm done with this. There's sometimes I still get frustrated and be like, you know what, the heck with this. But what keeps me going is, somebody said something to me is that we were a purpose before we were a person. And so when I thought about that and I said, you know what, I don't have the choice. God's brought me through too much. I don't have the choice. I don't get to throw in the towel because I'm here because he had his hands on me and because he brought me through. So I don't get the luxury of giving up. Though I may feel like it sometimes, I don't get that luxury of doing it.
You're right. And sometimes we allow failure to keep us down. We think like, oh, it didn't work that time, so it must not be for me. But that's not so, because you may not have been in the right place. You may not have had the right product, but that doesn't mean that you're not meant to do something. Because like I said, I started out doing cupcakes. It was cupcakes only and candy apples or something like that. And that's all we did. But it was never my vision. It was my sister's vision. And I was just the co-signer. I was just like, okay, well, we can do that. And just having that, when I look back on it, my sister is brilliant. She's a brilliant mind. And at that time, I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for my purpose at that time. But when I look back, it enabled me to be able to be here, because after that, I moved to New York. Me and my family, my kids and we moved to New York. I was still in corporate world, stayed there for a while. My kids went to school there and I got an assignment back here. And when I came back, people didn't forget me. They were like, can you make me some cupcakes? Can you do this? So even though we think we don't matter, even though we may think like what we have to offer, people are not really wanting it because the business didn't do well. So nobody really wants it. That's not true. Because when I came back, people remembered that I had a cupcake business. They would reach out to me, hey, can you make me this? Could you make me that? And I had gotten so busy that I had to go find a building because it was taking over my house. So that's how I got my first building. My cousin, who's also an entrepreneur, she said, you know what, you can find a building that's in your price range. Because I was working in corporate, I was making a lot of money. So she was like, you can find something that's in your budget. So I just said, you know what, I'm gonna drive around and look. I went, drove around, saw for lease sign, called the people, got the building. So it was like a humble beginning all over again, because I didn't know that I would be making cupcakes. I was doing it because my sister asked me to. But then it got to where I had the desire to. I wanted to do it. And my sister had moved upstate, so I opened Honeybees right there on Dunn and Duval Road. And it was just a pickup place. It was just orders and you pick up. And somebody was like, well, can you do me a cake? Now, mind you, I didn't go to school for any of this. I didn't know nothing about icing a cake or anything. I'm still a new person at cakes. I know it don't seem like it, but I am. I'm still new at it because I've only been doing it for 2 years. I've only been doing custom cakes for just 2 years. And I had to learn, I watch YouTube and I watch people, do it. And so I kept practicing and kept practicing and kept practicing. And then I started baking whole cakes. That's how it started. It wasn't something that I went to school to find out how to do. It was something that was required of me. My customers wanted that from me. So I provided that service to them. So it's just, you just never know. You never know what your real purpose is until you tap in.
I talk a lot about in a lot of my broadcasts, especially with Dinner with the Coaches, me and my partner, Coach Thomas Taylor, and we talk a lot about gifts versus talent and skill. Mm-hmm. And what people don't understand is in order to do whatever skill that you do, your gift helps you to flow in whatever skill that you have. So you already had the gift of being able to create, to be able to create be creative in your designs and how you started it. So your skill, you just got better at your skill so that your gift can show through your skills. And that's exactly what's happened. I've looked at some of you, and I'm going to show in the next segment what your website looks like and how beautiful your designs are. You've done a tremendous job, and your kids, you're a tremendous mom. I look at how big your kids have gotten. Wow, they have grown a lot. And I'm sure that has been a lot of your motivation for making sure that you succeed, because when you have children, you have a legacy to leave behind. And so when you have a legacy to leave behind, you're always trying to do things to make sure that your children don't go without, that you can make sure that when you look up and you leave, that you've left your children not only just physical things, but you've left them wisdom, you've left them key knowledge, things that you've imparted everything that they need to be able to make it in life. So I'm just super proud of you as a mom, as a business mom. You've done an amazing job, even as a single mom when you had to do it on your own. And I've seen some of the challenges. I may have not known all the detail, but I remember some of the challenges that you've gone through. And to see you where you are now, it just makes me smile, because you and I have come from a lot of the same places.
Right.
Gone through a lot of the same things. And so it's amazing to see. And I want everybody that's watching to know that you look at us now and you see, oh, wow, they look amazing. Everything looks like it's in place. But this is just the end part. I always say how people, can barely tell you about their beginning. They start to elongate the end, but nobody shares the process. And that is the purpose of Sisterhood Checkin, is to help others understand that there is a process before you can get to where you need to be. And that's the part that people don't talk about. People breeze through what they've gone through, but they don't take the time to sit down and look at, how did I get here? What steps, what things I had to overcome in my mind, to be able to get to where I am now, especially as a single mom.
Yeah.
That was challenging.
Yes. Being a single mom, I have 4 children. And like I said before, I have twin boys. I have a daughter who's only like 10 months under them. And then I have a 13-year-old. So I had the twins to graduate. I got them out of high school. Thank you, God. So they graduated, and then the very next year, my daughter graduated. So I had a lot, I had 3 teenagers that are almost the same age. Well, they are the same age for like a month. So every year they're the same age for like close to a month. Yeah. And that is very, very challenging, especially having young men and everything that's going on now, today's world. It is a big challenge, especially being a single mom. Trying to raise your sons and trying to make sure that they're safe and trying to make sure that your daughters are safe. it's a challenge, but it can be done. It can be done. And I give no thanks to anybody but God, because that's how I got through raising my children, working a full-time job, and having a business. So it wasn't just that I went to work every day. I went to work every day, and then I had a business to manage and try to grow. So, I mean, I'm still young in the business world. I've only been doing business on my own for 5 years. So Honeybees is still, a baby to some people, because they've been doing it 20, 30 years. I haven't been doing it that long, but it's a challenge when you have children, especially underage children who depend on you to be there, to be at school functions. And then you have customers who depend on you to do what your service to them. But like I said, it can be done. It can be done. And it's not easy, but it can be done.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more with our special guest, Ms Honie B, and we're going to talk about her businesses, her new podcast that she just launched. I cannot wait to hear all about it. So we'll be right back after this. IBG Careers is looking for customer service representatives to service their clients from home. If interested, please apply at www.ibgcareers.com.
Let's work. Yo, it's go time, showtime, never backing down time. One shot, yo, make it count, yo. Crunch time, shine time, make this moment my time. Get a grip, yo, ready, set, go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Yeah, it's my time, yo time. Step into the spotlight. Get lit, yo. Let yourself go.
And we are back here with Sisterhood Checkin with my honorable special guest, Ms Honie B. Welcome back. And make sure you visit my store, www.inspirationalhealth.store. I have just launched a new makeup line called Nadira Lewis. It's a signature makeup collection. So make sure you go to inspirationalhealth.store and support. And make sure you get your hoodies. It's summertime. Your t-shirts, your inspirational t-shirts. Also, you can available at inspirationalhealth.store. So, Ms Honie B.
Yes.
I have noticed, I'm going to go ahead and show your website, but while I'm pulling up your website, you actually have a new podcast.
Yes.
You have recently launched. Talk to us about this podcast. What inspired you to actually do a podcast?
Well, I can say that I can name two people who inspired me. You are definitely one of those people who inspired me to do a podcast. I saw your podcast and I was just taken back, like, wow, this can be done. And then Gwendolyn Gibbs, she's also someone who inspired me to do a podcast because I saw my sisters doing their thing, and I was like, I really want to do it, but I'm camera shy, so I don't know. I just been reluctant. So I thought about it. I saw it, and I just been thinking about it. I wrote down everything because God said, write the vision and make it plain. So I wrote down so many different ideas, and I had it in my journal, all the things I want to talk about, all the people who I want to invite on my show. And I just been watching you guys, just how your podcast has grown and how great it looks. And I was like, I could do that. And of course, my angle for my podcast is the platform is actually for entrepreneurs. That's where my passion is, for other entrepreneurs to have a platform to talk about what they do, to provide information, to provide resources to other entrepreneurs who are trying to, on this journey. That is what I want to do for my podcast. And I just feel like it's something that's needed. And it doesn't have to be anything about a baker, because that's what I do, but it can be any and every type of entrepreneurship that is out there. Anything that is making somebody money, I want to be able to give that knowledge to other entrepreneurs so they can get on the money train too. It's so much money out here that can be made, but a lot of times we don't have the resources. We don't know where to go. We don't know, that there are resources available that may not cost money or may not cost, a lot of money, but we don't know about it. So I want to give, entrepreneurs and people who are in the hair industry, people who are in, just food trucks and stuff like that, the opportunity to see other people who are doing it, who may not even have a platform yet. You may not even know about these people, but they're doing big things in our city and abroad. And I just want to have that platform for those people.
Right. And most people don't understand that, doing a podcast is nowadays information. We live in an information society where people, it's not like, before you had to be able to go to college to learn all the technicalities of being able to produce different things. I didn't do it either. I'm like you. I had no prior knowledge. I didn't have any special advantages. I didn't go to graphic school, and I've designed everything. I didn't go to school. It was just my gifts and me studying different people and taking my gifts and my skill, using my gifts to perfect and to perfect my skills. And so it's just something that I just did through trial and error. I watched one person do it, and I thought, if they can do it, I can do it, and I can do it with the twist. I can add something to it because I have different ideas about different things. And I went at it, studied it, and it's now I can do it, like the back of my head. It's like I can do it like second nature. So that's amazing. That's awesome. And you guys make sure you visit her podcast. You can also here's her Facebook information. You can go look her up at the @handle honeybees on Facebook or honeybees on Instagram, and you'll be able to find all of her information about our podcast. And I wanted to show your actual, which I thought was amazing, your website for your honeybees. This is absolutely amazing. Honeybees.com, honeybee.com. And then you do birthday cakes, you do any type of, I guess, different events. And here's her gallery of different, oh my gosh, I'm telling you, girl, you are talented.
Thank you.
What? Wow, you are simply amazing, girl.
Thank you.
Wow. Now this is gift right here. This is definitely talent and gift combined. Who would have ever thought? I mean, where do your inspirations come from when you're doing these cakes? My girls love JoJo. Oh my God.
Well, I get inspired by my customers. A lot of times my customers, they don't really know what they want. So they'll ask me to create them a cake based on what, the information that they give me. So they may give me colors, they may give me styles, they may find a picture on the internet and they'll send it to me. But my whole thing is that I create custom cakes. So you can't go to a book and pick out a cake. Everything is custom. Nobody's cake is the same. It is all just custom made cakes. So it is all just something that I come up with. Sometimes I have to stick to whatever they send me because they want a style just like this. But I tell them I don't replicate other people's work. All I can do is use it as inspiration, and that's it.
Wow, that's amazing to not have any type of degree or study in this, and to be able to just create these cakes and stuff and be inspired to do it your way. That takes wow. That's amazing. Like that is like crazy. So let's talk a little bit for those of you. So those of you that are watching, make sure you visit her website at www.honeybee, and that's the letter B.com. So let's talk a little bit about your podcast. Now, I know I seen you had on Facebook, and I always like to grab people when they're starting stuff because I'm like, this is perfect. I love to support other women in their businesses. So every time I see somebody doing something big or something awesome, doesn't even have to be big, but just doing something life-changing, I want to step in and give and support any way that I can. So with this podcast, talk to us about some of the discussions and what's going to be unique and different about what's buzzing with Ms. Honie B. What's going to be unique about your podcast?
What's going to be unique about my podcast is when I have a guest on the show, they will not only be able to just speak to you and you look at them, they're going to bring their product. They're going to be actually able to do what they do right there on the podcast. So if there is someone who is, for instance, she braids hair. That's what she does. She's the top the top braider in the city. She'll be able to come in, bring a model and show guests, okay, so if you're having a bad hair day, this is what you can do. This is a simple, easy style for you to be able to do, where you don't have to go, in between styles. She'll be able to come in and show us that. And then she'll also be able to talk about her businesses and her services, and she'll be able to tell guests where she can be reached and how to make appointments. And just the same for like a promoter. If a promoter's on my show, they're able to talk a little bit about themselves and also come with something. So they'll come with a tool or some advice or something that the viewers will be able to take home with them that episode. It won't be anything that they'll have to go and research. It'll be something right then, right now. This is what you can use. So that's kind of how I envision my podcast to be. Something that every episode will be where you can take away the information and use it immediately.
That's awesome because, it's nice to be able to have something hands-on, to be able to say, okay, this is what you're going to be doing, and it bring them like a very live event,
right?
We can actually, which is nice because nowadays, nobody's watching TV like they used to anymore. They're not watching TV like they used to. Now people are on YouTube and they're watching different TV shows, and their reality TV has become really big. Because people want to enjoy lifestyle. They want to see lifestyles. They want to see your life, what's going on in your life, And so it's good to be able to be in a position where we can actually start to view, show people, go into people's houses and be able to give them something to be able to give them encouragement, where before, when you're in different places, you wasn't able to do that. Now you can go to anybody's home and encourage them. That's amazing. So talk to us about where, how often will your podcast be showing? Like, is it going to be weekly? Is it going to be daily? Talk to us about the time frames of
my podcast will be weekly, Sundays at 7 p.m. every week. So you'll be able to tune in there, and then we'll have different snippets and things in between there. But the podcast itself will be Sundays at 7.
Nice. Sundays at 7. Wow, that's amazing. I love that. So, and it's going to be on Sundays, right?
Sundays.
Awesome. Great. That'll be good. Then I'll get to listen to it because I have recently dinner with the coaches I usually do on Sundays at 7 o'clock. We are, for those of you that are watching, we will be moving to Monday nights as of June 11th. So that is going to be great. It's going to be the same time, 7 p.m. on Monday. So I'll get a chance to participate. Hopefully one day I can be a guest.
You will. I promise you. You will. You'll be able to bring your products and services on the show. Yes.
I love it. I love it, man. I always like to see women doing the things that they love. We didn't have the opportunities that we have now to be able to, to be able to expand our business. We are in a really prime time in our life right now where God is giving us favor in so many ways, and we're able to do more than what most women would have done even a decade ago, even more than what we would have even thought of. I mean, look at how much internet and social media and YouTube has changed. You can literally build a whole network now. You don't even have to. It's funny because I feel like I pay for Comcast for nothing. I literally pay for Comcast for absolutely nothing because the majority of the times that I'm on my internet, when I'm not working, I'm watching somebody's program on YouTube or or inspiration on YouTube. I'm listening to a podcast. I don't even watch, unless I'm watching like one of my favorite TV shows,
Right. Classics.
Sisters. Like I like Sisters. I get some popcorn and sit down and watch me some Sisters real quick. But it's amazing because now we're in a position now we get to control our own destiny in terms of what we want to do with our lives. We get to control how we show up in the marketplace. We get to influence people in ways that we probably would have never been able to do it. The favor, the possibilities are endless of the things that we can do. And so I'm just really grateful for that. So what about with your podcast? You're doing your podcast. Are you doing this all full time? Or are you doing this now? Is this just something you're doing a lot alongside of what your job is? Have you let your corporate job go, or is this?
Oh yes.
Okay.
I let my corporate job go maybe about 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So I left corporate. So I do this full time. Honie B's Boutique and Treats is a full time job. It's the bakery, and then I do my custom cake. So I don't have a corporate job anymore. I've been out of corporate ever since I made the decision to do it full time, and God has blessed me to where I can do it full time. So this is all I do. I do Honie B's, and that's it. And that's why I have the time. It's a lot, but I do have the time to start my podcast and to do hot cakes with honey and do different things because this is what I do full time.
Now, what is hot cakes with honey? Is that like pancakes?
No, hot cakes with honey. It is. It's sort of like painting with a twist, but it's caking with a twist. So your cake is your canvas. Yeah. So I have it right here at the boutique once a month, and we have different themes every month. So what I do is I stand in the front, and we have music and prizes and games and all of that. And I decorate my cake. And while I'm decorating my cake, everybody else is decorating their cake. They're trying to do exactly what I'm doing. So yeah, everybody gets their own cake, their own tools, everything. And then at the end, you have a fully decorated cake, and then you take it home with you. But during the whole session, it is full of fun and laughter and sisterhood and brotherhood. And it's just a really good time. And we have it every month here. But I also do it on the road. So you can do hot cakes with honey at home. So if someone wants to have a party, I go to their location, and I take everything everybody needs to create their cake, and I do it at their location. So that also...
You provide the cakes.
Yeah, I provide the cakes, and you can decide what cake flavors you want, for your guests if you do it at home. But if I have it here at the shop, I tell you what cakes I'll have, what flavors will be available. And then people sign up. It's $45 a person. And like I said, every month there's a theme. This month it was Juneteenth. Last month it was Mother's Day. The month before that it was Spring Fling. The month, it's just every month it's based on a theme. So that's what Cakes with Honey is.
I love that. It sounds like, I tell you, you need to have you a little location in Atlanta, honey, because something. Atlanta is huge with opportunities for business. So that's amazing to have it right there in Jacksonville, Florida. And girl, you need to open you up some multiple locations, honey.
It's on the way. Don't worry. It's on the way.
So I can come. I'll be in Florida this weekend. So I'm gonna have to. You gonna have to. I'm gonna have to come by Honie B's
Stop by
and get me some sweet. Well, do you have anything like vegan or like for?
We are a traditional bakery with a modern flair, but we are a traditional bakery. We have traditional sweets and cake slices, cheesecake, honey drippers, peanuts. We have all traditional food.
So are you at your location now?
I am. I'm in my building right now.
Wow. Can you give us a view of your location, or is it customers?
See if I can.
Is it a place where customers can come in, or is
it? Customers are. I'm gonna have to take this microphone off. Okay. Definitely do that. So there may be a customer up here now, but we definitely. Here, let me show you. This is the bakery. Let me turn. Yes, ma'am. So it is a full bakery that people can come into. And we have different sides of the bakery. Like this is the side where we do hot cakes with honey. I'll show you a little bit of that. Let me turn on the light. So this is one of the sides. And then I told you that we did the Juneteenth one. And so this was for Juneteenth. So we have a large building. We have a kitchen and all of that. So everything is right here at the bakery.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice.
Yes. It's a very nice building. I really love the building. And my customers really love the ambiance because it gives you a home feeling. You know, it's very welcoming.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Wow. That is really awesome. So make sure you guys, if you guys are in the Jacksonville, Florida area, make sure you stop by Ms Honie B's boutique and treats. Because it seems like, I mean, I'm gonna have to go down there. I'm gonna have to take me some turmeric after I come by there. Eat me some turmeric. You know, the older you get, we can't be eating no sweets like that. I had to be careful with all that stuff. I've been eating, transitioning to a lot of vegan snacks and sweets. I even at one point thought about doing some vegan snacks or something like that. But because especially, nowadays at my age, we like sweets, we like sweets. I'm 48. So I'm like, I like sweets, but I want to eat them and not be feeling guilty that I'm going to have like 10, 20 pounds. I could just my 20s, I could eat whatever I want to eat and not really care. But, when you get over in the late 40s and you about to be 50, it's like that stuff starts sticking to you and you start looking at your behind and be like, oh, okay, looking at your stuff. For me, it never goes to my butt. It always goes to my gut. If it went to my butt, I would be excited. I wouldn't mind too much if it went to my butt, but it seems like it always go to my gut, and I don't want it to go to my gut. I have to start squishing stuff in and detoxing and all of that other stuff. But I will definitely be in Jacksonville, Florida this weekend, so I'm definitely gonna have to swing by and bring my girls, because they love sweets. Oh my God, they love sweets. There was a place here in Atlanta, the lady moved and I hated it. She was doing like signature cupcakes, and you would go in and select your cupcake, and then she would literally allow you to decorate the cupcake however you want. And my girls loved it. And she moved. I don't even know where she moved at. I was like, darn it. And so I haven't found too many places that actually do that allow you to do. Now there is a place here called Sisterhood, and Sisterhood, all vegan cupcakes. Oh my God. I was like, I took my best friend for her birthday, her and my niece, and we were like, okay, now you sure this vegan? Because this is really good. This is really good. We started looking up the ingredients, and it was. So yeah, you might want to see, I know you're a traditional bakery. You might want to think about adding some stuff, some vegan stuff.
I'll think about it.
Just for a little bit of custom. Now, do you ship outside of Florida, or are all of your customers mainly
They're all here. We haven't started shipping yet, but that's in the works.
Okay, well, you
That's
make
definitely in the works.
because I want some. I might not be able to eat it all the time, but I'm gonna sneak that this weekend and eat some of your cupcakes. Take some
Okay.
to promote your business and everything like that in our wisdom clinic. I like to because in our wisdom clinic, it's all everything women. So we support everything women where we share wisdom, knowledge, and and exchange business information. So I'm definitely going to be there to get some pictures with you. So I
Okay.
it in the wisdom clinic. So guys, if you are in Jacksonville, Florida, make sure you visit her and make sure you watch her podcast. When does your podcast actually start? Has it already started or
The first episode started, which was just the introduction. The second episode will be on Sunday at 7.
okay? So make sure you let's make sure we get your podcast information. I'm gonna put it up here so that we can be able to because I got your thing, but I don't. Let me go ahead and get your information so that that's watching can watch your podcast. I'm excited. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see it. That's awesome. I'm so proud of you and all the things that you're doing. Was that your daughter up in the front working?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
put it to work for the summertime. That's what I'm talking about. Put it to
Yes.
work. Put it to work. Okay, let me go ahead because I don't. Is it? Let me try to put it in here because I thought I had it up here in the thing, but I thought you sent me the link, but apparently that was for your Facebook. Let's see, put in the private chat your link for the podcast, and then I'll copy it
Okay.
and paste it into the and put it in the banner. And that way we get for everybody to actually see it. So guys, I'm telling you, this is amazing, and God can do anything. Don't give up on your dreams. Is there something that you really desire to do, and you have the business, and you feel like it has not worked out the way you wanted to? Don't give up. Just like with Cherie or Ms Honie B. Just like with Ms Honie B. And we've started out and things. Our first businesses haven't really kicked off the ground, and it doesn't mean that the vision. The Bible says write the vision and make it plain, so them that read it may run with it. So sometimes in the beginning, we're coming up with all kinds of ideas and stuff, and sometimes those ideas, sometimes it takes trial and error for us to be able to know exactly what it is that we were supposed to do. I had no idea that I was going to be even doing half the stuff that I was doing because I was doing so many different things, trying to figure out my place in the what was God wanting me to do. And sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you have to go through different things in life in order to be able to know exactly. And there's some things I'm still discovering. I'm not there yet, but I'm still discovering, how to be able to, maneuver through different things. This is her, for those of you that her information, her podcast information is at the bottom. Make sure you visit her podcast on Sunday at 7 p.m. And let's support each other, guys. Let's be there to support one another in our businesses. You never know I mean, it's amazing. It's always wonderful when people say that your business, whether it's a bakery or whether it's a podcast or whether it's, a apparel store or whether it's Mary Kay, it's not so much the business in and of itself, it's the impact you make through your business. Can God use you to make an impact to women lives and to other people's lives using your business, right? But when the Bible says your gifts will make room for you, it's not making room for you so that you can have the big head or say I'm so great. It's making room for you so that you can be of an impact to the people that are around you. You have a set location in Jacksonville, Florida, a spot where your customers, you have a certain group of people that are uniquely assigned to you, that you impact every time they come in your bakery. Every time they see every time they see the work of your hands. I love the scripture in Thessalonians when it says that we ought to work with our hands so that we won't have need of nothing, right? It's a beautiful thing to be able to take what God has put in your hand, right? And be able to share it with other people and see their lives change and impact as a result of whatever gifts and talents you have. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to have our final words from Ms Honie B. So make sure you call up your girlfriends, let them know Sisterhood Check-In is on the air, and we will see you back here in a few minutes. And we are back in our final segment here on Sisterhood Checkin with our special guest, Ms Honie B. I am so glad that you have accepted my invitation to be here. I appreciate all the encouraging things that you've given to our audience and to me. I'm motivated. I love being around women that just motivate me to keep going. And just to see that I've inspired you even a little bit, this really just makes my heart really feel good. And I'm glad that I can offer that inspiration to you. Are there any final words that you wanted to say to those that are watching that see you, maybe even a customer of yours, may have visited your shop before? Any final words of encouragement that you want to offer to my audience?
Sure. I would say never give up. Never give up. And always, I mean, I know everybody has like that intuition, which it's God speaking to you. Always follow that. Always stay true to yourself and don't let other people kill your dreams. No matter what, like if you have a dream, if you have a goal, if you have something that you just know that you are called to do that. Work on that. Write it down, because once we write it down, it's in the atmosphere, and you have to let the world know that you are doing whatever it is and that you're serious about it. And once you get serious about whatever it is that you want to do, it will happen for you. Just keep praying about it, keep seeking God, to ask him how you can get it done. Ask him for the resources. Ask him to bless your mind. Ask him to give you wisdom to accept the things that you can't change, and knowledge to know the things that you can change, and give you that ability to change those things for yourself. So those are the things that I live by. Just, writing the vision, making it plain, never let anybody destroy or crush your dreams, and always keep your feet moving. Always move forward. Never have a fallback plan, because when I fall forward. That means I'm just going on to the next thing. I might not have made it in that, but I'm gonna keep going. So those are the things that I live by, and that's what I want to share with everybody.
Awesome. And one thing I want to add too, finally, is that don't give up. If the first thing doesn't work, keep going, keep pushing. Don't give up, don't throw in the towel. Sometimes we have to, depending on what business you're in, sometimes you may need a coach, somebody that's already been there, that may be able to assist you with some of the steps. And if that's you and you desire business coaching and you want to know exactly how to take an idea and bring it into fruition, make sure you reach out to me at thetheorelewis.com, and I'll be more than likely happy to be able to help you do that, because most of the time we don't plan to fail. We just, sometimes stuff happen, and what we don't realize is failure sometimes is a part of success. Because, and you might think, well, why? That doesn't even make sense. Failure is a part of success. Yes, because there are things that you learn in failure that will help you not do it again, because sometimes you don't know not to do something again until you've done it and messed
Right.
up. So it's all a part of the process. So don't ever let people make you think that they didn't have points in their lives or businesses where they didn't mess up or they didn't screw things up and didn't have to start all over again. All of us have been to that point. But the thing is never giving up and keep trusting God for every moment that you desire that business or whatever it is that you desire to do. You don't even have to be big or small. Just listen. If you acknowledge him in all your ways, he will direct your path. He will. So take some time out, develop a plan, get with a coach that can actually sit down and help you strategize and execute your plan, and watch God move in ways that I'm telling you. I've been doing this. I've been an entrepreneur since 2013. And I've done so many different things. Some things work seasonally and some things work consistently. But you know what? Either way, I'm not giving up. It's kept me. I'm a full-time entrepreneur and have been for many, many years. And I have to trust God, just like each and every one of you. And so does Ms Honie B. She's got to trust God for those people to come in there and want to get in there and get those cupcakes and cakes, you know. And so we're not without the same type of faith. We have to believe God too. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Ms Honie B, for joining us. Check-in. And we will see you this Sunday. Again, we only have a couple of more Sundays for dinner with the coaches, and we will be moving to Monday nights at 7 p.m. effective June 11th. So I'll see you this weekend. And don't forget to join Ms Honie B. Don't forget to join her podcast, Buzzin with Ms B. I'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful evening.